Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we have a special treat for you. We're going to be taking a look at Ursafu and seeing how well it does in the Ultra League here. So I've said quite a few things regarding what you should do as far as completely powering this thing up. Do you want to actually do that? Do you want to make that investment? Do you want to use your bottle caps on this thing? I feel like they're kind of enticing us to do so with that. And my answer to all of those questions are coming up right now. So let's talk about it, and then we'll get into the battles here. So yes, I was finally able to make mine. I did quite a few remote raids, and then I did a lot in person. I just, I was kind of pretty close towards the end, and then I just decided to drive around town and, waste a bunch of gas and finally get enough freaking raids to evolve this son of a gun here. So we're gonna bring it up to the Ultra League. As far as I'm concerned, I think this is exactly where it's going to stay, and that's about it. Okay, now I could power it up a little bit more, and if I did, it would be to level 40, and it would be strictly for max battles, but then it would almost render it unusable in pretty much every PvP aspect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and stick with what I have right here, and we'll be good to go. Everything else that I need, that as far as fighting or dark type, I already have those kind of things lined up in my Dynamax and Gigantamax lineups. We have Gigantamax Machamp, we have Gengar, we're good to go. All right, so there's really not too much concern as far as making this thing completely powered up. If you want to go ahead and do so, you do it. You be my guest, have fun, enjoy yourself. Maybe you have 100. Hey, have a ball, okay? I'm not saying anything against that. I'm just saying personally for myself, I've got to be resourceful with my resources. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this thing here. Okay, so I had an absolute freaking blast in Ultra League. This thing put in the work. We were having wins left and right, and it's crazy. Now, we're looking at a fighting and a dark type Pokemon here. I went with that one. Yes, I didn't go with the water. I just felt like this one was going to be a little bit more useful in the long run. So, say I'm stuck up against a ghost type. Well, we have the dark, right? We have the Sucker Punch doing so much damage, and that's what we're going to be going with as far as the quick move. It also does have counter, which is also going to be almost equally as useful, but I found that the Sucker Punch was just so clutch for me as far as all these battles are concerned here. So that's where we're going to go with. We're also going to be going with Payback and then Dynamic Punch. We're going to be having a blast here. So let's go ahead and get into it here. Now, a few more things before we get into the commentary. So, I feel like Niantic is it Niantic or Scopely? Somebody told me to like combine both of their names together. Okay, Scope Niantic, whatever. But I feel like they're kind of pushing us into this kind of corner where we're going to have to start using a whole lot of resources to evolve Pokemon, but at the same time, they're giving us a lot of quality of life features that we like. So it's kind of like the check and balance. So they're giving us everything we've wanted pretty much, but at the same time, they're upping the ante for particular Pokemon. We're talking like King Gambit, and now this here, that are starting to take quite a bit of resources as far as rating to actually make. Is that a big deal? I don't know. Again, a lot of these things can be done over time. It's a matter of, do you want it like right now? Like we have to like pump it out right now. If you're a content creator, it's a different story. If you're an individual player, you don't need it right now. These things are really not doing too much for you, okay? As far as Ursafu here, in the Ultra League, the thing performed magnificently. I had an absolute blast. Now, granted, we do have things like Scrafty and the other one, I don't know why I'm spacing it out. Pangoro, right? they're going to be both fighting and dark, taking extreme damage from fairy type Pokemon. So there is that. But hey, it's okay. You have to come prepared. And this is why we're going to be pairing it up with my Shadow Venusaur, which is personally one of my best Ultra League Pokemon. I love this thing. It has horrible IVs for its league, but it still puts in the work. And then we do have Skeleturge, which has pretty great IVs for this league. And the thing performs magnificently in pretty much almost every league, including Master League. Yes, Master League. We've used Skeleturge in Master League, and it actually has pulled off a few interesting things here. So there is that. So anyways, with that said, you do what you got to do. I think I've explained long enough. Let's go ahead and hop into the commentary. So Venusaur up against Greninja. That's fantastic. They're going to obviously swap here. Or I guess not. They're not going to swap. I don't remember these battles, I guess. So hitting me with a Night Slash, retreating into a Muck, and we're going to go ahead and bring in our Skeleturge. Now, we do need to look out for Dark Pulse, but we're going to go ahead and let that go. Hitting me with an Acid Spray, lowering my defense, and now that they did that, the Dark Pulse is going to be obviously doing that much more damage. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this up. I bet you at this point they were super frustrated because I called and then shield at the correct time. I would be extremely annoyed too. This son of a gun using cheats. No, I'm joking. So anyways, they bring in the Greninja. We're going to go ahead and bring in our Venusaur, hit him with that. They are shieldless. We have one shield left. We're going to go ahead and let this go. Hitting me with an Acid Spray. They take me down. I bring in the Ursafu, and we're going to go ahead and farm them down. They bring in a Lucario, which is super effective to me because I am going to be part dark. We hit him with a close combat and take the win. This thing is awesome, okay? Now, here are my gripes. Because it is in the Ultra League, so take this with a grain of salt. It's not like, oh my goodness, this is going to permanently stick onto it as far as how it's thought about, right? So the Ursafu is a decently highly combat Pokemon, right? Highly reached combat power Pokemon. So you are going to be taking some decent damage. It's like bringing in a legendary to the Great League or Ultra League that has a great combat power. Their stat product has really not reached their peak, not even close, so you're going to be taking quite a bit of damage, okay? So there is that. Aside from taking a pretty good amount of damage from pretty much almost every move, the thing performed amazing. I love it, okay? I am so happy with this. Freaking running the show over here. Check this out. So we take out the Jellicent. In comes the Pangoro. We're going to go for the Dynamic Punch. They shield it up. We swap into our Skeleturge, hitting them with a combo breaker and taking the win. Now, you could go with Brick Break, but, you know, that's your own choice. I decided to go with Close Combat, and we're looking good. Next game, we're going to be met with a Glade. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. More than likely, they're going to be having Leaf Blade and then Close Combat with the Psycho Cut. Super effective, but really not able to dig in and do enough damage to take us out. So they do swap and bring in their Glissopod here. I do believe they're like shieldless at this point. Oh no, they got one more shield left. Sounds good. We're going to go ahead and use our shield ourselves here. Is that our last one? We did. We used our last shield. Going to go for a Frenzy Plant with our Shadow Venusaur on that Glade, and then swap into our Skeleturge. Skeleturge, to me, is one of the best Ultra League Pokemon. Now, if you're like, what moveset should I run on this thing? There's multiple different movesets that you can potentially run that are going to be good for you. You can go Song Torch. Is that the thing here, right? Or Torch Song, yeah. Torch Song, and then you have Shadow Ball. Torch Song, and then you do have Disarming Voice. You can run, you know, Blast Burn Shadow Ball or Blast Burn Disarming Voice. Your choice. Or you can run All Fire. I personally am going with Incinerate for the quick move. It is going to receive a updated quick move for the next season. I do believe it's going to be Hex. That's going to be a great addition to its move pool, but I think I'm personally going to still run Incinerate. Although I will try it out to see what it can do, okay? So we do have a Suicune out here. We're going to go ahead and let this go, hitting me with a bubble, lowering my stats. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and go Disarming Voice. I think we're just going to stay here and keep on spamming this over and over again. I was kind of thinking about what I should do for this situation, but yeah, it wasn't too dire. I wasn't like too worried about it. Go ahead and hit me with another one. We're going to be able to get off another. Well, we go straight for the Song Torch here. Okay, let's go. And then bring it in Venusaur. Now they could have Ice Beam, and this is where they probably got annoyed. We shielded up finally for the right time, and they do swap into their Magnezone, and we're going to go ahead and bring in our Ursafu. So here's the thing. If we had counter, obviously we'd be doing more damage, but we're going to go ahead and obviously go with the Sucker Punch that we do have. It just worked out so much better for me. And if I was to choose what move you would want in the Ultra League for your Ursafu personally, I would say you're going to want Sucker Punch. The thing just absolutely sweeped up. It was amazing, okay? All right, moving it on. Next one, we're leaving with Venusaur. Met with a Swampert. Obviously, this is great. Waiting for the swap. They're going to be bringing in Cresselia. And I made a big mistake by bringing in my Ursafu here because we're going to be both fighting and dark, right? So we're going to be 4 times weak to the fairy move. So not the greatest, but they did allow our payback to go through. So we're able to take them out, getting realignment here. And they did have the Sylveon out there, and they did swap back into their Swampert. And at this point, it's a wrap. And here's another thing I'm going to bring up, okay? And I know I bring this up all the time, but this is what it is, and I'm just going to have to be completely honest with you. When it comes to Go Battle League, does it require skill? Yes. Is there skill required? Yes. Do people have a higher skill than other people do? Yes. I will acknowledge all of these things. Absolutely. No problem at all. But here's the thing. This game is completely manipulated. And when you're screwed, okay? It doesn't mean, oh, you're so good. It means the other person just got screwed over. And if you're thinking, well, maybe they had a horrible team composition, that's another particular thing that you could point out. For sure, I agree with you. But at the same time, if they had a good team composition and you just had something to counter them, thanks to the algorithm matching you both up, because that's the way this algorithm works. Because if you still don't believe there's one, then I don't know what to tell you. Like I want to take a jab and say something mean and nasty and, mockery, to mock you. I'm not. I'm just going to say, well, I'm sorry to say that you don't understand at this point, but I'm pretty sure you get it. You know there is an algorithm. You just don't want to understand or at least comprehend or acknowledge that there is something like that here because you're just too invested. I don't know what you're trying to, I don't know if you're trying to get that Doritos or Mountain Dew sponsorship. You're never going to get it. Okay. This is dying by the day. Next game, met with a Giratina. Horrible lead. We're going to go ahead and swap into our Skeledirge. This is still not a particularly great lead, especially because we do not have Shadow Ball. Now, we do have Disarming Voice, which is super effective, but it's still not going to cut the situation here. So we got to be very particular on how we approach this thing here. So we're going to go ahead and shield up that charge move, go for our next one here. Hopefully they throw. Perfect. They're not going to farm us down. And then we're going to go ahead and bring in our Ursafu to farm up this son of a gun and really build up our energy here. This thing actually was great. I'm not even trying to build it up. You can see it for your own self here. All right, so we take them down. They bring in a Swampert. We're going to go ahead and go for the payback here, doing tons of damage, swapping into our Venusaur, farming them down, and they have a Skeledirge in the back. This is not great for Venusaur, but the thing about Shadow Venusaur is you don't F around, and then you can F around, and then you're going to find out. That's the little meme, right? F around and find out with Shadow Venusaur. Anyways, in comes Ursafu. We're going to go ahead and finish this off, shielding up that charge move and taking them out. Next game, Venusaur, every game, we're going to be met with a Dragalge. This is a completely awful lead. Everything is massively resisted, especially this. I should have went for Sludge Bomb personally, but we did get a shield, so it's all good. So we're going to go ahead and let that go, swap into our Skeledirge, and this is still not a great matchup whatsoever. So we're going to let that go. We don't want to use all of our shields here. We want to kind of be prepared for the end. See if we can wither them down. We still have 2 shields. They've used 1. We're looking good. Getting to another disarming voice. They let it go. They're going to farm us down here. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and bring in our Ursafu. And we'll let, I think we let this, I don't know. Well, no, we shield this up because we thought it could be an outrage. Okay. Now we'll let this one go. And even if it wasn't, that still would have done a ton. They bring in a Yveltal. Check this out. Check this out. Dynamic punch, sucker. What's up? All right, we're going to go ahead and use our second shield here. So now we're going to be completely shieldless. Farming them down with sucker punch. Going for a payback, taking out the Skeledirge, and then taking the win with a nice clean sweep with our Ursafu. Do you see why I like this thing? It actually did the work. Next game, we're going to have a mirror match, except for mine's going to be Shadow. Theirs is going to be regular. I've been in this matchup many a times. We'll go ahead and just let that Sludge Bomb go. It's no problem at all. All right. Typically, you would maybe want to shield up that first one because they're going to go for the hardest hitting move. They're not going to particularly try to bait you on that first one, and then you'll kind of just try to recover it. Anyways, they swap into their Moltres. We're going to go ahead and bring in our Skeledirge. We're just going to keep on going for the Torch Song. We're just going to keep building our song. Yeah, technically, yeah, building our song. Or building our energy over and over again here. And they go for Ancient Power. They use their shield. We farm them down. We still have 1 shield left. We're built up on our energy. We're going to go ahead and go for the Torch Song, taking out that Venusaur. Our attack has been raised, obviously. Bringing in Primarina, we're going to go ahead and go for the Disarming Voice here. Doing so much damage, swapping into our Ursafu because we wanted to have a little bit of play here. I was screwing around. I could have bring in the Venusaur. I understand. I was screwing around. And we take that win. Next game, what do we got going on here? We have a Licky. All right. So this thing is going to get a nice little upgrade next season with its wrap. Okay. All right. Not a really big concern, to be honest. Like, what are you going to do? Like, substitute Body Slam for wrap? Okay, go ahead. Then you're going to still run Shadow Ball pretty much. Anyways, they're going to be swapping into their Tentacruel. We go ahead and go for the Frenzy Plant to get a shield, bringing in our Ursafu, hitting me with an Acid Spray. Thank goodness. We're going to go ahead and go for the payback here. Let's see if we can land this. And we do. Taking them out. Good night, sleep tight, and they bring in a Giratina. Now, we're Dark type, so we're going to be taking some pretty massive resistance against that Shadow Claw. We go for a Dynamic Punch just to get a shield out of them, bringing them down low enough so we can handle the situation here because it could have been a pretty bad thing, but we're looking okay. And we're going to go ahead and just double shield this thing up here, hitting me with another Shadow Ball, swapping into Licky, going for the Torch Song, and then bring it in Venusaur, and then Venusaur is going to be able to take the win because they just back out. We're looking good. All right, folks, I think we have like 2 more battles left. All right, I think this might be the last one. Up against Ampharos. This is obviously a fantastic lead for us with the Shadow Venusaur here, as we do resist the Electric. We're going to go ahead and let that go. No problem at all. Going for the Frenzy Plant, pretty much taking them out, farming them down, still in the yellow, bringing in Dragonite. We're going to go ahead and go for that Sludge Bomb. We don't have anything in the back particularly strong against that, so we immediately swap into our Ursafu, shielding it up so we don't get hit by potentially some sort of a superpower or anything like that, but they do hit me with a freaking Dragon Claw. Going for a Dynamic Punch as they do swap into their Feraligatr. Wow, okay, this is getting a little interesting here. Letting that go because we are going to kind of play this game that they want to play here. Bringing in the Venusaur, going to be able to get their last shield with the Frenzy Plant here. And then we're just going to go ahead and swap into our Skeledirge, and we're going to take the win. Folks, if you can give this video a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and take care.
finally did it. I'm the champion of the Pokemon League. Hurry up and come. Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!